Hi, it's Beth. Welcome to 2 Kings 22:11. When the king heard the words of the book of the law, he tore his clothes. Reading the Bible to you in a year. Today we are in 1 Chronicles, chapters 1 through 3. The descendants of Adam were Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah. The sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The descendants of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras. The descendants of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The descendants of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodanim. The descendants of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Cana. The descendants of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. The descendants of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Cush was also the ancestor of Nimrod, who was the first heroic warrior on earth. Mizraim was the ancestor of the Ludites, Anamites, Lahabites, Naphtalites, Pathrusites, Calshulites, and the Caphtorites, from whom the Philistines came. Cana's oldest son was Sidon, the ancestor of the Sidonians. Cana was also the ancestor of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Arkites, Sinites, Ardavites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Asher, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. The descendants of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arphaxad was the father of Shelah. Shelah was the father of Eber. Eber had two sons. The first was named Peleg, which means division, for during his lifetime the people of the world were divided into different language groups. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan was the ancestor of Almodad, Shepha, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzel, Dikla, Obal, Abamil, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the descendants of Joktan. So this is the family line descended from Shem: Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Ru, Serug, Nahor, Terah, and Abram, later known as Abraham. The sons of Abraham were Isaac and Ishmael. These are their genealogical records. The sons of Ishmael were Nebaioth, the oldest, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Napish, and Kedma. These were the sons of Ishmael. The sons of Keturah, Abraham's concubine, were Zimram, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. The sons of Joksham were Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldad. All these were the descendants of Abraham through his concubine Keturah. Abraham was the father of Isaac. The sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel. The sons of Esau were Eliphaz, Ruel, Jush, Jalem, and Korah. The descendants of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, Kenaz, and Amalek, who was born to Timnah. The descendants Swish Beth changed the tree. The descendants of Ruel were Nahath, Zerah, Samah, and Mizha. The descendants of Seir were Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. The descendants of Lotan were Hori and Hema. Lotan's sister was named Timnah. The descendants of Shobal were Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepo, and Onam. The descendants of Zibeon were Ai and Anna. The son of Anna was Dishon. The descendants of Dishon were Hamdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Karan. The descendants of Ezer were Bilhan, Zavan, and Akan. The descendants of Dishan were Uz and Aaron. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before any king ruled over the Israelites. Bela, son of Beor, who ruled from his city of Dinhabah. When Bela died, Jobab, the son of Zerah from Bozrah, became king in his place. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites became king in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, the son of Bedad, became king in his place and ruled from the city of Avith. He was the one who destroyed the Midianite army in the land of Moab. When Hadad died, Samlah from the city of Mesrakah became king in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul from the city of Rehoboth on the river became king in his place. When Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, son of Achbor, became king in his place. When Baal-Hanan died, Hadad became king in his place and ruled in the city of Pau. His wife, Mehetabel, the daughter of Matrad and the granddaughter of Mesrabah. Then Hadad died. The clan leaders of Edom were Timnah, Alva, Jaheth, Aholibama, Elah, Pinion, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Aram. These are the clan leaders of Edom. The sons of Israel were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Judah had 3 sons from Bathshua, a Canaanite woman. Their names were Onan, and Shelah. But the Lord saw that the oldest son was a wicked man, so he killed him. Later, Judah had twin sons from Tamar, his widowed daughter-in-law. Their names were Perez and Zerah. So Judah had 5 sons in all. The sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. The sons of Zerah were Zimri, Ethan, Heman, Calcol, and Darda, 5 in all. The son of Carmi, a descendant of Zimri, was Achan, who brought disaster on Israel by taking plunder that had been set apart for the Lord. The son of Ethan was Azariah. The sons of Hezron were Jerahmeel, Ram, and Caleb. Ram was the father of Amminadab. Amminadab was the father of Nashon, a leader of Judah. Nashon was the father of Salmon. Salmon, the father of Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse's first son was Eliab. His second was Abinadab. His third was Shimeah. His fourth was Nethanel. His fifth, Radai. His sixth, Ozan. And his seventh was David. Their sisters were named Zeruiah and Abigail. Zeruiah had 3 sons named Abishai, Joab, and Asahel. Abigail married a man named Jether, an Ishmaelite, and they had a son named Amasa. Hezron's son Caleb had sons from his wife Azubah and from Jerioth. Her sons were named Jesher, Shobab, and Ardon. After Azubah died, Caleb married Ephrathah, and they had a son named Hur. Hur was the father of Uri. Uri was the father of Bezalel. When Hezron was 60 years old, he married Gilead's sister, the daughter of Machir. They had a son named Segub. Segub was the father of Jair, who ruled 23 towns in the land of Gilead. But Gesher and Aram captured the towns of Jair, and also took Kenath and its 60 surrounding villages. All these were the descendants of Machir, the father of Gilead. Soon after Hezron died, in the town of Caleb Ephrath, his wife, Abijah, gave birth to a son named Asher, the father of Tekoa. The sons of Jerahmeel, the oldest of Hezron, were Ram, the firstborn, Bunah, Oren, Ozem, and Ahijah. Jerahmeel had a second wife named Atara. She was the mother of Onam. The sons of Ram, the oldest, were Jerahmeel, were Maz, Jamin, and Eker. The sons of Shammai were Nadab and Abishur. The sons of Abishur and his wife Abihail were Abhan and Molid. The sons of Nadab were Seled and Appiam. Seled died without children, but Appiam had a son named Ishi. The son of Ishi was Shishan. Shishan had a descendant named Ahalai. The sons of Jada, Shammai's brother, were Jether and Jonathan. Jether died without children, but Jonathan had 2 sons named Peleth and Zaza. They were all descendants of Jerahmeel. Sheshan had no sons, though he did have daughters. He also had an Egyptian servant named Jahara. Sheshan gave one of his daughters to be the wife of Jahara, and they had a son named Attai. Attai was the father of Nathan. Nathan was the father of Zabad. Zabad was the father of Ethel. Ethel was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jehu. Jehu was the father of Azariah. Azariah was the father of Helez. Helez was the father of Elisha. Elisha was the father of Sismai. Sismai was the father of Shallum. Shallum was the father of Jechamiah. Jechamiah was the father of Elishama. The descendants of Caleb, the brother of Jerahmeel, included Misha, the firstborn, who became the father of Ziph. Caleb's descendants also included the sons of Mersha, the father of Hebron. The sons of Hebron were Korah, Tapua, Recham, and Shema. The sons of Hebron were Korah, Tapua, Recham, and Shema. Shema was the father of Raham. Raham was the father of Jokream. Raham was the father of Shammai. The son of Shammai was Maon. Maon was the father of Beth Zur. Caleb's concubine Ephah gave birth to Haran, Moza, and Gazez. Haran was the father of Gazez. The sons of Jahdai were Regem, Jotham, Geshan, Pelet, Ephah, and Shup. Another of Caleb's concubines, Maacah, gave birth to Sheber and Tirhana. She also gave birth to Sheph, the father of Madhaman, and Sheva, the father of Mechbenah and Gibeah. Another of Caleb's concubines, Maacah, gave birth to Sheber and Tirhana. She also gave birth to Shaph, the father of Madmenah, and Sheva, the father of Mechbenah and Gibeah. Caleb also had a daughter named Aksah. They were all the descendants of Caleb. The sons of Hur, the oldest of Caleb's wife Ephrathah, were Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, Salma, the founder of Bethlehem, and Harpha, the father of Beth Gader. The descendants of Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, were Haroah, Heph, the Mahalites, and the families of Kiriath Jearim, and the Ithreelites, Puthites, Shumathites, and Mishrites, from whom came the people of Zorah and Eshtaol. The descendants of Salma were the people of Bethlehem. The Netophilites, Artaroth, Beth Joab, the other half of the Mahanathonites, the Zorites, and the families of the scribes living at Jabez, and the Tirathites, Shimeathites, and the Succothites. All these were the Kenites, who were descended from Hamath, the father of the family of Rechab. These are the sons of David who were born in Hebron. The oldest was Amon, whose mother was Ahinoam from Jezreel. The second was Daniel, whose mother was Abigail from Carmel. The third was Absalom, whose mother was Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. The fourth was Adonijah, whose mother was Haggith. The fifth was Shephatah, whose mother was Abital. The sixth was Ithream, whose mother was Eglah, David's wife. These 6 sons were born to David in Hebron, where he reigned 7.5 years. Then David reigned another 33 years in Jerusalem. The sons born to David in Jerusalem included Shemua, Shobab, Nathan, and Solomon. Their mother was Bathsheba, the daughter of Amiel. David also had 9 other sons, Ibhar, Elishua, Epelet, Nova, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Elidad, and Ephelet. These are the sons of David, not including his sons born to his concubines. Their sister was named Tamar. The descendants of Solomon were Rehoboam, Abijah, Asa, Jehoshaphat, Jehoram, Ahaz, Joash, Amaziah, Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, Manasseh, Amon, and Josiah. The sons of Josiah were Johanan, the oldest, Jehoiakim, the second, Zedekiah, the third, and Jehoahaz, the fourth. The successors of Jehoiakim were his son Jehoiachin and his brother Zedekiah. The sons of Jehoiachin, who was taken prisoner by the Babylonians, were Shealtiel, Malchiram, Pedadiah, Shenazar, Jechemiah, Hoshama, and Nebadiah. The sons of Pedaiah were Zerubbabel and Shimei. The sons of Zerubbabel were Meshullam and Hananiah. Their sister was Shelomith. His 5 other sons were Hashubah, Ohel, Berechiah, Hasadiah, and Jushub-Hesed. The sons of Hananiah were Pelatiah and Jeshishiah. Jeshishiah's son was Rephaiah. Rephaiah's son was Arnan. Arnan's son was Obadiah. Obadiah's son was Shechaniah. The descendants of Shechaniah were Shemaiah and his sons Hattush, Igal, Bariah, Neriah, and Shaphat, 6 in all. The sons of Neriah were Elonai, Hizkiah, and Azrikam, 3 in all. The sons of Elonai were Hodaviah, Elishib, Peliah, Akub, Yohanan, Deliah, and Ananiah, 7 in all. The book of John, chapter 11, verses 45 through 57. Many of the people who were with Mary believed in Jesus when they saw this happen. But some went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. Then the leading priests and Pharisees called a high council together. "What are we going to do?" they asked each other. "This man certainly performs many miraculous signs. If we allow him to go on like this, soon everyone will believe in him. Then the Roman army will come and destroy both our temple and our nation." Caiaphas, who was high priest at that time, said, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't realize that it is better for you that one man should die for the people than for the whole nation to be destroyed." He did not say this on his own. As high priest at that time, he was led to prophesy that Jesus would die for the entire nation. And not only for that nation, but to bring together and unite all the children of God scattered around the world. So from that time on, the Jewish leaders began to plot Jesus' death. As a result, Jesus stopped his public ministry among the people and left Jerusalem. He went to a place near the wilderness, to the village of Ephraim, and stayed there with his disciples. It was now almost time for the Jewish Passover celebration, and many people from all over the country arrived in Jerusalem several days early so they could go through the purification ceremony before Passover began. They kept looking for Jesus, but as they stood around in the temple, they said to each other, "What do you think? He won't come for Passover, will he?" Meanwhile, the leading priests and Pharisees had publicly ordered that anyone seeing Jesus must report it immediately so that they could arrest him. Thus ends the reading for today. Never walk alone.